Joining me today on Xperience Sessions is Shruti Haasan, fellow Chennai Pune. I feel so close to her in the Zoom call right now, although we are like miles apart. Actress and singer now, all set to release your
Not now,
first.
actually.
I mean, for a long time, but
That's
now
only
you're all set to release your original independent song, which is so exciting for you, right? I mean, do you still have the same jitters you would have if a movie was releasing?
It's actually much worse with this.
Why is
There's
that?
so many other people to blame in a movie. This is just me.
Yeah, that's true. And it's titled Edge. You wrote it, you sang it. Is this a lockdown baby? Like, how did it come about?
Yeah, it is a lockdown baby. And considering none of us have had action in lockdown, this is the only baby we'll be having. So, I wrote this in lockdown. Usually I write on the piano and kind of lyrics and music together. Might just have an idea, but this one was actually in reverse because I'd written a poem first, and I really liked 4 lines in it, and then a bit like bits and pieces here and there. So I deconstructed that and then wrote Edge as a whole song.
That's love. I love that you write poems, because I can safely say that I don't understand poetry for some reason. When it's in song form, I can understand it. So can you tell me what is the most appealing thing about like poetry to you?
Well, for me, it's a catharsis of like emotions, really. It's something I've been doing since I was very young. My father's always encouraged me to write. I don't think he thought I would be an actress. Like, he thought I'm going to be a singer, writer, director, screenwriter, maybe.
Yeah.
So writing was a voice that was very encouraged and important from my childhood. So I had a personal diary till I was about 12. And then I think my mom read it and I was like, God, to be cryptic. Yeah.
No.
So I really have to be cryptic about my feelings now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a very blunt person, so it was all there in that diary.
Oh no. Oh no.
Surely there must be a better way for me to share my emotions, and that's where my love for writing poetry started. So I don't think there's anything to understand in it. It's just my emotions more cryptically. Yeah.
Okay. I guess, since you're the one writing the poetry, it's what feels natural and what comes easier to you. So that's, now I kind of understand it a little bit. But since you said you maintained a diary, just off the bat, I'm asking you, if there's a Dear Diary moment for this year, if you could write anything in your diary about this year, what would it be? Like a couple of lines.
Dear Diary, 2020, shit is going to hit the fan. Don't put it on.
I love that. In Chennai, you really need the fan though. So
I know.
That's unfortunate.
Don't put it on. Shit has already hit it.
Yeah, just sweat it out.
People have all these like January, February, March, all of that. And I'm like, truly, but I mean, it's a year in humanity that we'll never forget for a number of reasons.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Let's talk about Edge a little more. So when I heard it, right, the first thing that came to mind was the fact that there's no like percussions per se.
Yeah.
Right? But the piano sounds like a beat almost.
Yeah. Percussive
like,
in nature.
Yeah. So was that intentional? Like, how did you put that together?
That's actually how I play. So usually when I'm not trained in playing the piano, I'm kind of self-taught with the piano. I had lessons from my teacher at MI, basically chording and, jazz chords, which I can never do and stuff like that. I never trained Trinity grades or anything like that.
Yeah.
My love for piano it's such an emotive instrument, and I use it percussively. I think because I played tabla as a kid with my Hindustani training, I've always loved percussion, and we're Tamilian, right? So that rhythm is there.
It's inherent.
Inherent, happy, taka, sad, taka,
everything is the
everything
same.
has rhythm. So for me, I play the piano percussively, and I like that you don't need rhythm. That every song has its own rhythm before you even add that layer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, like mad skills is what it is. If you can play if you can play that well enough to make it sound like there's actually a beat going on in the background, I think that's crazy. So it's
Thank
a
you.
beautiful song, and I can't wait for people to hear it, honestly. Now, you spent all your time in lockdown, like, would you say creating music and just venturing into new skills?
Yeah, it's not as like lovely as it sounds.
Yeah.
It's been hard some days because I'm completely alone for over 120 days now. So it's
Yeah.
like so much cooking and cleaning in between
Yeah.
that I've become an insomniac of like mad proportions, because in the day I'm just like, oh, my floor is dirty. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I should cook for 2 days now if I'm smart so I can
Yeah.
get. And then there have been days where I'm just like, which didn't happen when I was in Mumbai, because I was like, I will be productive, And then when I came here to Hyderabad, I was like, this is ridiculous. Even when I'm working on movies and stuff, I actually take a day to breathe. So I started inserting those in, because being creative while doing house stuff is like so
There's
not for
suddenly
me.
so many more things to worry about in a day, like as opposed to just your work
I
and
don't
stuff.
know. When I'm in London, I think I'm more used to it, because in London, I go for my gigs, I'm doing recordings. I
Yeah.
have to take care of my own house and everything. But for some reason, the house, well, it's a much smaller home, but it just doesn't get that dirty. I don't know how. It's just dusty all the time. Yeah.
Oh man, I understand what that feels like. And I think when you have the option of like, getting help, maybe you're less anxious about it. But now that you don't, it's just
Well,
you want to make
it
sure
teaches
that,
you discipline. I mean, I think
yeah,
I'm going to be better for it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It just teaches you to be better planned, I guess, if anything. So
100%. Yeah.
maybe there is a silver lining somewhere
Oh, yeah, for
to
sure.
this. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, I want to dive into the lyrics of Edge a little bit.
Okay.
Like it's a bit emotional. Like it kind of brings out your deepest emotions. Would you say somewhere deep down? It
Yeah,
just
for me, Edge is about. So, like I said, I'd written a poem about something I was kind of going through, my interaction with somebody. And that was actually triggering, I think, some of the greatest lessons in life are relationships. And I don't mean I mean like any relationships,
yeah,
They make you analyze yourself in a way that somebody can't tell you to do. So it kind of triggered something about my understanding about myself, my attraction to intensity, or my attraction to the darker corners. And I was
yeah,
wondering, what is that about? And I realized that the places I found myself are not in comfort. It's going to the edge of the things that aren't comfortable.
yeah,
So that's really what that chorus is about. It's about owning because destruction isn't always self-destructive and bad.
yeah,
Destruction is required to reconstruct. Yeah.
yeah. That's so well said. On that note, do you think you could give us a little a cappella version of
Sure.
Edge, just a tease? Okay.
Sure. Maybe it's a beautiful mess. Take me to the edge of whatever this is. Maybe it's a violent bliss. I just want to break myself into pieces. Take me to the edge. There you go.
So beautiful. Because I've heard it, I can hear the fullness, but really, like, when people listen to it, I think they're going to be very, very impressed. And this is sort of like the beginning to your EP, which you're going to be releasing?
No, it's not actually.
Oh, no? Okay.
So that's like a completely separate thing that I'm doing in the UK. And
Okay.
that's like a different process. I'm like an unknown name there. I'm starting as a new musician. I started the gigging route really because I wanted to get musical credibility. There's nothing like being able to perform to people live or say, hey,
Oh,
do you know what? Come check me out singing. And
yeah.
studio stuff like everyone
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah.
So that's really what it was about first. And then that's a separate version happening. Eventually, this will all be on my greatest hits, hopefully.
Oh,
But
I'm sure 100%, like on Shruti Haasan's Billboard
no,
100.
I'm just being funny. But I mean, that is a separate thing. And this is just a single, really. And one more coming out next month. Yeah.
One more coming out next month. Okay, something to look forward to. What is that? Like, can you tell us anything about that?
No, I can't.
Fine. Fine. Okay. All right. We'll just have to wait. For now, we're very happy with Edge. Okay. So one look at your Instagram profile, right? And you can see that your aesthetic is just on point. So how do you like put your outfits together? And like, is that planned, or has the lockdown sort of made you explore that side of things more?
Oh no, I've kind of always been the same. And then I think when I got into full-fledged movie promotions and be this girl and like other people's versions of it, like it's not that I lost it, but I understood that that was the role I had to play. I had to wear the pink shalwar kameez. Like it was fine, you know, for that phase it was fine. But
yeah,
this is really just my vibe. This is how I've always been. I think as you grow older, it just refines itself more.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I just want to like circle things back to like with Indian films, right? Everything is such a musical. In movies especially, you have to.
Not all.
I mean, not all the. I mean, the ones that used to be considered mainstream, I'm happy to say that the ones that are mainstream now are more like, you know, character driven and things like that. But like when there's a movie and there's like choreography that you have to learn and like dialogue and all of that, is it sort of the a similar thing for a music video as well? And like, what are some pro tips that you have to learning all of this?
It depends on what kind of video it is. You know, there are songs with choreography. I might do it someday if it feels naturally organic to the song, you know.
Yeah.
Also, like my biggest fear is, especially working outside of India, is you don't want to like appropriate your own culture for like the postcard from India. Do you know what I mean? It's like such a and like I'm sure for you, me, a whole bunch of people in a particular splicing, crossing over generation, like we are the product of globalization, you know? And it's really hard to put us in any particular box. So again, it depends on the video. I think I don't see very many videos anywhere in the world that can compete with the level of maybe maybe Korean K-pop videos. You know? Because they're like on it like us, you know, with the choreography and the 500 dancers, and it's amazing. That's an amazing other, you know, head trip really. But it's not the same. It's really not the same for me to be doing choreography to a song in a film. Also because it's just not different. I mean, it's very different to be sitting and doing your own song, first of all. But then again, I did a song for this film, D-Day, called Alvida, which had a stunt team. They had a movement choreographer, but the song was a visual motion of this girl dying. And that like flipped everything on my head of how beautifully cinema and music can be played off of each other.
I mean, I think that's a very powerful way to represent anything. So is there going to be a music video for Edge?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Okay. Is it like can you tell me anything about it? Is it like a storytelling type of thing, or is it going to be like you raw with the piano? What's kind of like?
Yes, it is, because I shot the video as well in lockdown completely by myself. So what happened in lockdown for me is, I think we all have, like, I always call it the attic. Like, the attic is our consciousness and our spirituality. And then it's like your heart is like the living room and your stomach's like the dining room. And the basement is really like your root energy. And that's where we hide a lot of things that we don't want to talk about. Or when you're alone, you start having this not need, but unavoidable situation of coming to terms with your black box that's inside of you. So the video is that black box, and I'm calling people into my black box because I'm not afraid of it.
Oh, that's so, I really love the idea of that. And it kind of looks like you are in a black box right now with your screen and everything.
It's my black box.
It's a vibe. Okay. Okay, this might be a really tough question, but if you had to choose between being a singer or being an actress, which one would you choose?
It's not a tough question. It's a question I get asked all the time, and the answer is I don't have to choose. I had to choose to balance one more than the other at one point, and acting really took center stage at one point. And it was the time and the energy that it deserved, and I had to give to it. Do you get what I mean? But now it's about finding that balance. And I'm certain there are people in cinema who feel she's not that focused on cinema. And I'll manage that as well. Just like I manage people saying, why aren't you doing music anymore? So right now, my aim in life is to be able to do both things with justice.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You're right.
No, it really doesn't, because both are creative.
Yeah. I mean, and to be honest, if you're focusing on both, then maybe you're not doing one thing wholeheartedly. So I think that's great that now you're doing this music thing, and there's a lot of exciting.
It's a balance. It's like you learn the art of doing. It's like raising kids. I mean, for people who have 2 kids, you can't tell them today you spent your home or doing homework with the older one. Does that mean you love the younger one less? No, it literally moves on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we should ask some parents that question as well. I wonder if there's such a thing as a favorite child now.
Of course there is.
There is, no?
I can see it like sometimes in families very obviously, and I'm like, that is not good.
Oh gosh, especially in like from where we come from. I've seen it too. A lot of
No, I think it's not just, I think every family everywhere has it. Because it's about the ideals of what you want your kids to be, and people forget that the kids just have to be what they have to be,
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, on that note, we're gonna play a little game.
Okay,
I'm gonna ask you to name 3 things in 5 seconds, and it will be timed.
Okay.
With on my fingers, so not too much pressure. Okay,
so not too accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, like one Mississippi.
Do you remember? No, tick tick 1, tick tick 2.
Tick tick 2. Oh my God, that is right. Okay, that's how I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm gonna count in tick ticks. Okay, if you lost your phone for a day, what are 3 things you would do to pass time?
Work out, make music, and talk to myself.
Okay, that was on the 6th second, but tick tick wise, like maybe 3rd.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay, 3 terms of endearment for your significant other.
Oh my God, babe.
And no other terms of endearment.
I mean, it depends. Like, if when I get to know the person, I always come up with my own nickname for them.
Okay. Well, on that note, 3 nicknames people have given you.
Shruti, Shruts, and Satakopa.
So what? Sorry.
Satakopa. That's what my dad calls me. Satakopa.
Oh, that's cute. What does it mean?
It's a long story. Someone should ask him. He explains it best.
Okay. 3 things you would tell your teenage self.
Calm down. Don't straighten your hair so much, and don't color it so much. Seriously. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's it. That's what I would tell my now self as well. Okay.
No, I don't. I haven't colored my hair forever. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I mean me to myself. I should stop at some point, but I don't see that happening. Okay. 3 things, 3 of your biggest pet peeves.
People who wear socks with sandals, people who don't use coasters, and people who let spit collect on the side of their mouth.
Have you noticed that happen a lot?
A lot.
Yeah.
It's like they'll just have a little book right there, and it drives me.
Yeah. I mean, suck it back in.
Yeah, it's just or if you have tea and then there's just 2 little dots of tea. I can't explain this kind of frustrated rage I feel.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine what you would do to a person who's not placing the tea on a coaster and has a collection.
Dead.
Gone. Okay, 3 people that you haven't met that you want to meet in this lifetime.
Oh, do they have to be dead or alive? Please clarify.
Anything goes.
Then you have to start
1 second.
Your question was not.
All right.
Okay.
Starting over.
Ready?
Tick tick. Yeah.
John Lennon, Mary Curie, and Hedy Lama.
Okay, awesome. 3 must-haves in your wardrobe.
Oh, Frida Kahlo. I'm sorry, I take that back. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. 3 must-haves in your wardrobe.
Good underwear, a good black dress, and socks.
Okay, without sandals.
Without sandals.
Top 3 tracks on your playlist.
Currently, I'm listening to the song by Grimes called, I don't know, something. Always something metal and always something classical.
Always something metal and always something classical. Are these for different moods or for one single mood?
Depends on the day.
Yeah. Okay. Top 3 foods you can't live without.
Sambar, rice, and urlakaranga.
Yes. Oh my God, the best combination, like the holy trinity.
I mean, yeah, you take away everything else from the food group, I'm fine, but I need these. I mean, there's not much nutrition in it.
No, forget about nutrition. This is soul food.
Yeah, there's protein in the sambar, but maybe some vegetables, but yeah.
Yeah, add all the vegetables in the sambar you want.
Less
but
protein, but lots of joy, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, finally, 3 words that best describe your upcoming EP.
Emotional, black, and inviting.
Inviting. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Shruti, on that note, I feel like I want to keep talking to you, but the interview has come to an end. Is there something you would like to tell the people of Bangalore and your fans and just people who are watching this?
I haven't been to Bangalore in so long. It's really such a beautiful city and friends there. I just want to say thank you for those of you who have supported my music so far. And for those who haven't heard it, I hope you love it. And yeah, just thank you.
You too. And very excited about the song. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Shruti. It was such a pleasure. And you caught her exclusively on indigomusic.com. Make sure to catch her single Edge and stay tuned to indigomusic.com. Bye.